What's up, everybody? I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're having a good day so far. Threadman Chaz back here with another video today. You can tell probably by the thumbnail, we've got some exciting news to talk about today. So please do like if you enjoy. Please do subscribe if you're new. But let's get into the big news. So Tyrell Malacia, a player who I've really been keen. So I'm really, really keen of him. I've talked about him before. I've done a show about him before. I think he's a very, very good player. I've always said that he'd be available for a cheap price. And according to Fabrizio Romano, yesterday he put a tweet out saying that Manchester United are aiming to hijack this deal. So we've got some very, very exciting news to go through today. The left back Tyrell Malacia from Feyenoord, Manchester United, are looking to hijack the deal. Lyon had already agreed with Malacia. They'd agreed a fee. They'd agreed personal terms, I believe. They were going through the fee. I think they made a few improved bids, and I think everything was close to completion. And then Manchester United came in and said, "Hang on a minute, we can offer you a better deal." And I think here we've gone from searching, seducing, interested to Hijack FC. That's our new name, Hijack FC. So I'm very, very proud that that's our new name. It looks like this deal is going to go through. It's not fully certain yet, but it does look like Manchester United may be making a signing on Tyrell Malacia. So today what we're going to do is we're going to discuss Malacia. We're going to discuss why he is the perfect signing for Erik Ten Hag at left back. We're going to go through my analysis that I did on Twitter yesterday as well. So let's get into it. So let's look at the big news first. So what I'm going to do first is just go through the big news on Twitter. We'll look at Fabrizio Romano. We'll just go through right now. We'll see his tweets and see what he tweeted, just to make sure everyone understands and knows all this news. So let's have a look then. So I'm going to share my screen now. So this is from Fabrizio Romano. So an exclusive. So he came up with an exclusive yesterday. Manchester United are trying to hijack Tyrell Malacia deal after full verbal agreement with Lyon. Manchester United jumped onto it before it was signed. Talks with Feyenoord to reach an agreement. Dutch sources confirm. An interesting bit of information. Malacia has the same agents as Frenkie de Jong. So that's also a bit of interesting information there. So that's the news on Tyrell Malacia. Obviously, very, very interesting. There may be a lot of people who are watching right now who are not too sure about who he is. That's why I'm going to cover today some analysis on this player. So yes, that's what we're going to do now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my profile, and we will read through the analysis that I did yesterday on Malacia, so everyone can understand. And please do check out this analysis if you haven't already, just so everybody can understand what Malacia can offer. So this is Tyrell Malacia player analysis. So this is what we're going to go through. So just a heads up first, around a month ago, I did do a YouTube video on this player. So if you want to watch that as well, that contains some more information on Malacia. After the sort of Europa Conference final, I did a YouTube video on him. So if you want to look at that for more info as well, you can. So this is Tyrell Malacia player analysis. This is in a little bit more depth, covering some clips, some interesting tactical points. So let's get into it then. Firstly, just his background. So obviously he's a very, very young player, still only 22, Tyrell Malacia. Plays for Feyenoord. He's made some caps for the Netherlands as well. Let me just zoom in slightly on there so you can see that a little bit more clearly. So 22-year-old, plays for Feyenoord at left back. He's won a couple of cups as well in his time with Feyenoord. Interestingly, he's only in his senior career, he's only played for Feyenoord. So that's just an interesting point to mention. So he hasn't come from any other clubs. He's always been at Feyenoord in his senior career. And he's also made some caps for the Netherlands as well, as covered. So let's have a look at his strengths then. So I highlighted sort of four main strengths: his pace, his one-on-one defending, his press resistance, output in the final third. But we will also see some other strengths as well within those. So it's not just he's got four strengths. There are some other strengths incorporated within those bullet points. So let's start with the pace. So you will see here, I've put Malacia is very quick. He does like to join the attacking third and be an outlet for Feyenoord. However, his recovery pace means that he's a vital asset in defensive transitions. So you can see here, I think it was Utrecht in blue against Feyenoord in the red and white. You can see Utrecht looking to counter-attack. Look how quickly Tyrell Malacia there is across and makes the tackle. So you'll see very well there how quick he is to make that tackle. Obviously, in defensive transitions, very useful. This is hugely important for Erik ten Hag's system due to the expansive nature of the Dutchman's philosophy. Yes, one of the main weaknesses of Erik ten Hag's philosophy is the counterattacks. Teams will try and hit us on the counterattack next season because that's a big weakness. The expansive nature of ten Hag's system. We're going to go through some of the points around formation later, but ten Hag does often, in possession, set up with the front five. So he's a very expansive manager. He's got a very expansive system, and therefore it does leave spaces in behind. And having players like this with a lot of pace can stop transitions very well. So you can see there, there's another clip of him there. One-on-one defending, so very competent 1v1. I've watched him many times. He rarely gets beat one-on-one. He's very strong. You can see he's very good in the tackle there. You can see again here on this video. You see again, look, very good in the tackle, and also on this one as well. Very strong in the tackle as well there. So remember, this analysis is all available on Twitter. Okay, so if you do want to watch this on Twitter, you can do. Okay, so you can read through this, watch the videos again on Twitter and everything. I've put the link in the description, but I'm just covering the analysis here, just explaining. So, as well as one-on-one defending, Pacey also got the press resistance. You can see here, very press resistant. He's got a really good sort of manipulation of the ball in tight spaces. So when he's being put under pressure, he's very good at getting out of those tight spaces. And obviously, when we play the likes of Liverpool, Manchester City, Chelsea, when we play these teams, you've also got Arsenal, even Spurs. When you play the tougher sides in the division that are going to be of better quality, that are going to come at you, that are going to press you, you're going to need players who have got the courage to play. You know, there's a lot of schools of thought in football. Some managers think that if you're being put under pressure, you should play a long ball, just we sort of hoof the ball. This is old sort of phrase, hoof the ball forward, as Stoke City used to do with their direct Route 1 football. But obviously, under Ten Hag, he very much wants to play out of these situations. So he needs players that are comfortable in possession and can manipulate the ball in tight spaces. How can you get out of tight positions? And I think Malacia is very good at that. Okay, there's a very interesting tactical point I want to mention. So what I've noticed from watching Malacia is that he's comfortable, I've put here, in possession in more central areas as well as wide areas. So Erik ten Hag, his team in the past has often depicted a 2-3-5 in possession. So you'll see here on this picture, you see here that you've got Ajax's two centre halves, so Daley Blind and Matthijs de Ligt in the two. Okay, so the deepest two. So Ajax are currently in Spurs' half. Okay, you've then got three. Okay, so you've got your two centre halves. Then you've got three. I believe there you've got. I think it's Frankie de Jong on the ball. I think it's Veltman on the right hand side, and then the centre. I think it might be the other pivot player. It probably will be Lasse Schöne, I believe. And then on the left hand side, you've got Tagliafico. Okay, so and then you've obviously got the other. You've got Van der Beek. I think you've got Tadic. I think maybe Neres and Ziyech. I think you've got there as well. So you've got the two wide players. You've got the centre forward. You've got the number 10 in Van der Beek, and you've got the left back. So you've got sort of a front five there. Now, Malacia, if Manchester United do want to set up in this shape in the opposition half, Malacia is, let's just talk about the Ten Hag system first. So very much with Ten Hag, he wants overloads in that final third. Okay, so in that final, sort of the last line, you look at that Ajax, that they're attacking their most forward line there. you've got 5, you've got overload, you're going to be able to drag the opposition players out of position and make spaces. So that's what Ten Hag wants to do, right? So you've got Tagliafico on the very hugging the touchline on the left, okay? So he's part of that front 5. Now Malacia would be comfortable in that sort of position, okay? I'm going to cover in a little bit why Malacia is comfortable in a wide area as well, through his crossing attributes. Very, very good with his output in the final third, okay? But also, Malacia, in my opinion, will be comfortable in the role that Veltman's playing at right back, but he would be on the left-hand side. So I'm going to cover this now. So if you look here, this is from the same season against Juventus. You'll see that Tagliafico is now in a more inverted position, okay, and Veltman is now part of the front 5. So you'll notice that almost Tagliafico and Veltman have just switched roles. So before, Veltman, who's the right back, was playing as part of the 3, so he was playing almost as a midfield player, okay. So remember, in this 3 here on the right hand side, where just above where it says 26.5 meters, okay. So that's Veltman there, and you've got Tagliafico on the top left, and now you see they've changed roles, okay. So Veltman has now gone towards that front 5, and Tagliafico is playing more of an inverted role. So you will see here that if Ten Hag wants to depict this at Manchester United, let's not forget that he has changed things in the past. His principles of the system will stay the same, but he's obviously changed the type of players he uses. So he's used Tadic as a false 9. He's used Haller as a centre forward. He has changed things, Ten Hag. So he might not. I expect him to set up. I expect to see the 2-3-5 from, not in every game maybe, but I do expect to see it, okay, throughout his reign. So if he does go with this, I think Malacia will be a perfect candidate, both for the Tagliafico role in this picture, the more inverted role, and the wider role, okay? So we're going to have a look here why. So I've said here, something that Ten Hag requires is that fullbacks are technical players comfortable in both inverted and wider areas. So if you think about, for example, even now, you've got a player like Mazraoui, who was playing for Ajax last season under Ten Hag. Mazraoui is a very, very technical player. He can overlap Anthony, but Anthony tends to be more of a touchline winger. So maybe when Anthony does come inside, Mazraoui can overlap, but Mazraoui can also underlap, and he can stay deeper and dictate from deep because he has got that technical ability. He's got progressive attributes. He's got a decent passing range. He's got decent, accurate passing. Malacia is the same. Okay, so Malacia would be comfortable in that inverted role, slightly deeper in terms of contributing to the attack, and also in a wider role, slightly higher up, as we saw in the first picture with Tagliafico, contributing to the attack there. Okay, so you'll see here, this is Malacia in a central position. Okay, so you'll see here, this is Malacia in a central position. Obviously, Feyenoord should really score there. You could say maybe the ball's got a little bit too much weight on it from Malacia. It's a good pass, but maybe, again, it's the goalkeeper's come out quick there. It's good goalkeeping, but that is the danger he can possess in more central areas. Okay, so in more central areas, Malacia, you'll see there picking up the ball in the central area and contributing to the attack. Okay, so he is a danger in the final third. And I've made a point as well about off the ball. Okay, so off the ball, you talk about Pep Guardiola's system as well. The importance of inverted fullbacks to stop transitions. Remember, if you're in a more central area, you've got more chance of making a defensive contribution. Okay, so if Malacia is in that sort of area, I'm playing this video many, many times. If Feyenoord were to lose possession there, okay, so if Malacia were to misplace the pass, he would be in such a good position to stop a transition because he's in a more central area. He's closer to the play. Okay, if you like, the opposition's got sort of the opposition. He's in front of the opposition's line, isn't he? So if you look at that they've got a lot of players sort of in that defensive area. Even if they try and get out, Malacia's right there. He's going to be right there. He can either drop. He's got the pace to drop and say, "Well, race me, I'll beat you," or he can actually engage and make the tackle. Okay, so that's the situation. So not just for the on the ball attributes, but for the off the ball attributes, Malacia for me would be very, very good in this inverted position. If we look at his output as well, this is via FR compilations, as I've said. He has a wonderful left foot. Look at that cross there. Very, very good. A peach of a cross. and it's a goal there. You can see here as well. Look at this for a ground pass, really, really good connection. And again, another cross here. I think this one ends up. No, it doesn't end up in the back of the net, but maybe it should have done there. Yeah, it certainly should have ended up in the back of the net. And you look here again from a more central area. Look at him here impacting things from a more central area again and creating a chance. So, and then here again, more of a central area. So you can see what I'm saying, and it should be a goal again there. So he is a great output, a great outlet in the final third, not just in wider areas, but also in more central areas. And here, it's not just explosiveness who can overlap; it's also a decent passing range and break opposition lines from deeper areas. So if he's in an inverted area, or even if he's at a wider area, if he's more deep, he can also contribute here through progressive passing. So he's got that in his locker. So I've said here, I think he'd be a fantastic signing. Yeah, I expect Alex Telles to go. I don't think he suits Ten Hag's system. I think Shaw and Malacia will be the fullbacks. Yeah, defensive positioning, I think he could improve there. I had to get this analysis out very, very quickly because of the news that came out so quickly. So I didn't have the chance to produce some sort of weaker aspects of his game as well. But if there was one aspect I would say he could improve, one main one, it'd be his defensive positioning. So I think at times, if let's say, I think it's about discipline. So there may be times where no, you actually don't want to make that run forward. Be a bit more conservative in your runs. Just be wary of the opposition player, their opposition wide player, causing you problems on the counter. So I think he can improve his defensive positioning and some decision making as well, in terms of when to go and when to stay. But I think Ten Hag can develop that. He's going to be working with a very, very good tactical manager. He's only 22 as well. And as well, it's been reported an initial fee of 15 million euros. That would be an exceptional signing for me. And Murto Madness, I felt a bit shameless there. We've turned from seducing FC, interested FC, knocking on the door FC to hijack FC by the looks of it. So I was quite happy yesterday, I have to say. And obviously, I put that Murto Madness picture up there. So I hope you did enjoy that. So I'm going to stop sharing now. And I'm going to come back to the stream. So yeah, guys, I hope you did enjoy that. I was just running through the analysis there. For me, I think it'd be a top signing. An interesting point. I've been doubtful about Murto and the board, but I do think if you think about what's been reported about De Jong, 56 million up front, I think it's going to be about 80 million euros in total plus the add-ons. About 68 million pound, I'd imagine. Okay, 70 million pound, 80 million euros, around that. Okay, Barcelona wanted 100. The money that we may have saved through negotiating on De Jong may have paid for Malacia. So that's an interesting point. Also, De Jong is expected to earn, I think, £100,000 cheaper than he's earning now. So I think his wages are going to be £100,000 lower. So less, cheaper. I don't know what I'm on about anymore. I'm going a bit crazy. I'm getting a bit excited at the moment, but I think his wages are supposed to be 100k lower than what he's earning now. So if so, I have to say that I think we've negotiated very, very well for this De Jong deal, and this has led to Malacia. I expect Lisandro Martinez could be a player that's on his way as well. It could be a player that's being scouted and being looked at as well after this. So yeah, as I said, thanks a lot, guys, for coming along. Those of you who know my channel already, you know I was supposed to do a player in focus on Diogo Dalot. So if you don't know already, I do this player in focus series. I look at the current Manchester United squad. I pick one player every episode and I analyse them, their season last season, how I think they'll fit into Ten Hag's system. We did David De Gea last Wednesday. I was supposed to do Diogo Dalot today, so this Wednesday. But because of the transfer news that's come out, because of the amount of time I spent on that thread that I posted last night, I'm going to delay that slightly, okay? So don't think I've completely forgotten. That episode will be coming out on Diogo Dalot, but because of all the news that's going on at the moment, I am just talking about transfers right now, okay? So that's why I wanted to do this analysis video today. This will continue in the future. So when I do a piece of analysis on somebody that's a hot prospect or hot news, I will come on Twitter around a 20-minute video explaining the player, explaining why they're a good fit, etc. So if you guys really enjoy this format, please do leave a like. Please let me know in the comments what you thought. Also, please do subscribe if you're new. Please do follow me on Twitter as well at ThreadmanChaz, the same username as the same as I am on YouTube. And I'll be leaving the link to the analysis in the description. Okay, so if you want to read the analysis further, the link will be in the description. But otherwise, let's get this signing done. Let's get De Jong over the line as well. Let's go into the first game of preseason on the 12th of July with 3 or 4 new players. I'll be very, very content with that. Let's get our 6 signings this summer. I think we can do it. I really do. I think we can do this. And I think that would give Ten Hag a really, really good start. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. As always, please do subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you later.